Hey Divas, I am coming to you with a ButterbeeScraps design team project. I'm going to jump right into it because I have a lot of products to show this time, okay? So, I'm going to show you everything that I used instead of pointing it out and saying this is Butterbee. Instead of doing all of that, everything is here. So if you have any questions as to maybe certain things that I'm going to show you, if they're in here, then just maybe rewind it back so you could see which products they are, because I think it's just really redundant if I say it like 5,000 times. Okie dokie. So I used these fabulous sleeves. I used some of these flat back crystals. And they're, and they're in clear. Okay. Then I used some of these fabulous filigrees. I used one of these. This one's painted, that's why it looks cloudy, but it's actually silver. It's my last one. And then these flowers. I used this, it's a multi-bead pack. So you'll see that there's some big chunkadelic beads on there. It's part of this bead pack. And then I have some of these little legs. These little legs for boxes. They're little tiny feet. They're really, really pretty. Okay. And I had some of these bead caps. And some of these fabulous door handles. Some small keys. These bead caps in copper. Use one of these doorknobs. 2 come in a pack. Then I used some of these. And one of these. And these come with the corks, and it comes with the screws in gold and silver. And I used the silver. I used some of my favorite little itty bitty bead caps. I used one of these beautiful little peacocks. One of these balls. This is part of her old collection. She doesn't have those in the store, but I just wanted to show you. That. Chain. This is the chain I hung everything on. These. Let's see if I could do multiples. Hey, that's a good idea. I used the 10 pointy back, 16, and I used, these are super pretty. These are little pretty glass crystals that are that are just cute to add on to things. They're really tiny. This right here is a locket, 2 come to a pack. It does open. Okay. And then I used this filigree, these leaves, and one of these buckles. There. A lot of product, didn't it? Right? So let's start off with the box that I did. This is a wooden box. It's a nesting box for Michael's. There was 4 of them. This is the last one. It did have handles, but I covered it because I didn't want the handles. So therefore, as you can see, I used this big filigree. And then I used the knob. And this wood right here, mind you, I had to puncture through it. So I used my chomper. Believe it or not, it actually went through this box. I was actually worried, but I had to try. So what I did is this right here, this knob, well, you can't see because I covered this inside right here with the smaller filigree piece. But it's really thick. So one punch was not going to be enough. So you see that? That's thick, and the crocodile is not going to do it. So I had to punch it once in the center, then scoot a little bit over, punch it again, scoot a little, punch it again, and up and down like that, so that it made one bigger hole. And I knew I was going to cover it all with this anyway, so you wouldn't see any of it. So I did that, and I also did the same with the paper on the inside. I had to make sure I, hole punched it so that everything would fit and make sure everything was covered. So, and then I added some of the flat backs. Just make sure to focus. There we go. So I put some of the flat backs, and I used glossy accents. Again, I'm just lazy about going to get my E6000 because I don't have my jewelry stuff in my craft room. But, and then here's a butterfly for my stash. And then a bow. And this is a little crochet cluster I did. This right here is is a doily that I did, and then a flower, and then I used it in a really pretty blue color, and then a cream colored one and a bow. All of these tutorials are from Tutu Amy. I'll put her link below. She really has awesome tutorials for rookie crocheters, so I'll put her YouTube channel there, and then you can look through the tutorials. Okay, so I used Authentique paper, gorgeous. Okay, so this is just the alternating side of this. Okay, and then I did the bottom. And then what I did is I painted only the corners right here with what's it called? Antique Parchment by Appleby. It's like the perfect cream color. It's to go with anything. So I just did all the edges because I knew that I was going to leave paper opening on the side so you could see the wood. I didn't cover it inch by inch, you know. So that's what I used. And then these are the cute little legs. Aren't they stinking adorable? They're so tiny. I love it. So that way it sits like that. I love it. It's so cute. Okay, anywho. So, and then what I did is a chunky charm. No, a junk charm. The difference between a chunky charm and a junk charm is that a lot of the times chunky charms are a lot more beads than anything else. Junk charm is using just different random things instead of your typical beads. Okay, so all of those things I showed you is what you're going to see on this. This is, let's put this up here. Okay. And the only thing I didn't show is this, because this is the last one I had in my package, but she sells these too, and I need to get some more for my next project. I love those. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and show you. And I'm only going to tell you what came from my stash. Okay, so this, of course, came from my stash. Okay. And then I added one of the pointy backs in there. And I did not close this tight enough because they're thin, so you got to make sure. Some of the metals are thin, so you got to make sure to close the backing. You can't have, and I didn't do that on this one, I clearly see that. You have to make sure that you close them really good because some of the metals, the filigrees, are really extra thin, so they can fall out between the jump ring. So you just have to be real careful just to close it really well. Okay, so that was a perfect example. So anyways, so that's this one. And here's a super fabulous peacock. I love it. And I just, because there's little holes in this already, so you just go ahead and add the blings to it. So wherever you see it, that's because it was intentionally something that you needed to put something there. So you could go on, and I was thinking of, well, I could always emboss the end. There's so much you could do with the metals. You don't have to just leave it raw like this. Okay, and this was from the bead pack, and this was from the bead pack, just so that you know. This is from my stash. This right here, this I got from Tara, who's the nurse Tara here on YouTube. I will put her YouTube channel below. She has a tutorial on how to do it this way. It's so stinking cute, and there's something else that I did also on here that's from her. So I went ahead and added these beads are from my stash. And see, here's the door handle. And this right here is also, the idea is from Nurse Tara. She uses actual, like I Am Roses or Wild Orchid, wherever you get your flowers from. And she strings it through the bead cap. So you see right there, that's the stem of the flower. And I just hooked it on a jump ring. So this was, she has tutorials on these things too. So go check it out. Okay. And I just popped a pearl. This is also another one that I did from Nurse Tara. It's a super cute idea to add your tool to a bead cap like that, and then you just add some beads. It's just so stinking cute. I love it. Thank you, Tara girl. Okay, and then here's those little cute dangles that I showed you that Monique carries in her store. I used one of my tiles that I altered. It's a Scrabble tile. Those are just little birdies. And see, that's what's good for these too, these filigrees. that you can add stuff on top of it. Okay. Oops. These are just those leaves. It's right here, this metal, it's a metal button that I had in my stash. And the beads are for my stash. This right here was in my giveaway winnings from I Triple Dog Dare You. Thank you, girl. So I put that, see, because it's just a safety pin. That's what's good about it. That's just whatever you have, it's like you just hang it up. I love doing, I haven't done these kind of junk charms in a while. And see, and there's the buckle, and I just hung stuff from it. And here's another one of the Tara's dangle charms. This little dove is from my stash, but the key and the butterfly is not. Okay. And then here's those little jingle bells. I just hung them on a big jump ring. And then here's the cute little jar. And the beads I put in there were part of a swap that I did with Rosanna, Creatives Away here on YouTube. Thank you, Chica. And then here's another. It's so hard to get these things sometimes, but there's the bead. Jeez Louise. Okay, and then what I did on the key is I just used a little jump ring and I hung the little pretty crystal from the key. Okay, here's the locket. And all I did with this is added a little tiny vintage image. I cut it around and I used vintage photo to ink the edges. I did not put anything on the inside. Let's see if I can open it without breaking my nails. There you go. So I haven't put anything on the inside, but they do open. And I just put glossy accents on the top, so it's not just paper. Okay. Oh yeah, you already showed you that. And then here's the... See, I love these little crystals. They're so perfect to add in just little areas. And then here's a bead from that bead pack also. I just hung that from the bottom. This right here is, I believe it's Industrial Chic. And so I just used that for the bottom since it was the longest. This is so cute. I've been actually hoarding this for a while because I really, really love it. Because this is like a teacup upside down and just really creative. I love it. And it was silver and bronze. So I mixed all the metals. So I thought this was perfect that it was already there. So there we go. So here is my junk charm, using a bunch of ButterbeeScraps amazingness. Of course, I will pop Monique's link below so you can go check it out. Awesome thing about her store, she's constantly putting new stuff in, new metals. So you gotta, you know, periodically go there and check it out. It's amazing. Okay, so that's my design team project, ladies and gents. Thank you so much for stopping by and checking me out. I do have another video I'm posting right now. And you know, last time I said, oh, it'll be here like that. Now, girl, because it takes hours for YouTube to stinking post a video. So it was actually, I'll see you in hours from now, but literally it's going to be 2 minutes for me. So thank you so much. Thank you to my new subbies. You guys are awesome. And I will see you soon. Bye.